Proud to present to you the best Quad City sports talk radio show in the world. With the face who runs the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, Jaybird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City sports talk radio show. We're not the Quad City sports talk radio show. We are your Quad City sports talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the dawn.
Hello, ¿cómo estás? Guten Tag. What's up, Quad Cities? We're back here in the Hassle Castle. T-Roy's in the house. My drawers are clean. Jaybird looks good. Surge, I want to make out with every day. We are here. Don't Hassle So Local. Brought to you by our friends at Done Right Satellite and Dish.
Wow.
What's up, boys?
Look at you go.
We have come a long way in 2 years. I tell you what here, fellas.
I know.
On the Facebook memories today, I got to see a video of us doing the podcast from Pints 2 years ago.
Oh, Lord.
It was rough.
Yeah,
Was it?
There was no Lord. There's no Lord of the board yet.
There was none.
We were all rough.
Will we still do it? Did you still bring in the song yet? And we to do with like what was going on at the end?
No, it was, we're live. Start the podcast.
Is it working? Is it working?
Best sports talk podcast in the world. I'm not talking to the microphone. T-Roy's just staring at the cameras with his mouth open, grinning. Jay's sweating and struggling. We've come a long way, fellas.
I got it. I'm going to watch.
I'll show you after the show. It really made me laugh.
Great.
That was actually the day that Jay deemed me the stat man.
Stat Cat?
It was stat man then.
Oh, Stat Man.
And T-Roy wanted
Stat Man. See, I love that. That would be great. Who threw this cat thing in there? Nobody likes a cat.
Because Jay said, you said, why stat cat? Why stat man? And he goes, well, you know what? And I said the same thing. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, where'd that come from? He's like, well, you know what? I can't always be fact checking. What if we're wrong? I don't want to be wrong at some stuff, so I want you to be able to go, hey guys, you know what? You're wrong. Here's what I did find for you.
Look at that.
Look at us. Jeez, the
It
evolution.
Worked. It worked.
We started out crawling.
Yeah.
And then we were kind of four-legged for a while.
Now I got the fastest hands in the Midwest. Whatever you need to know, I have, extensive resources over here.
Extensive.
Whatever you need, I got you.
We got
buddy.
working internet, usually.
Now we got all kinds of fun things.
Yeah. You guys seen the carpet on the stairs going up to Becky's office, by the way?
Yeah.
I feel like if you walk on that carpet and up to Becky's office, you're off to see the Wizard of Oz. I'm going to tell her that when I see her. It's great. It's very colorful. But it matches everything else in the building, so that's good.
Yep. We got a lot to talk about. We've got
Cardinals are out of it. I mean, what? Who would have thought that, man? You get rid of the best player in the league in Jay's eyes.
Oh, it's his birthday today. It is his birthday.
Happy birthday. You're not in the playoffs.
Turns 27 today. Happy birthday to Bryce Harper.
Oh, boy.
I know. The night before his birthday, he gets to see his former teammates pop champagne.
So all this talk about we've come a long way. I'm a ghost on here. Look at your camera.
I don't have it up.
What's
Hey,
it's
T-Roy.
frozen.
Oh,
Nobody's on there.
You are.
yeah.
Yeah. The thing froze.
All T-Roy all the time.
We'll fix it back up. It's all right.
Why is it frozen?
I don't know.
Come on, Elsa, help me out. Where you at?
So, yes, there were two games
Neither one
last
of you
night.
are on there.
Nope.
Sorry, guys.
There were two games last night.
Stupid camera.
In the day game, started at 3 o'clock. The Astros beat the Yankees 4-1. Started off with Jose Altuve's solo shot, who now extends his lead as the all-time postseason home run leader for second baseman, with his 12th in the postseason history. Garrett Cole threw 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, 7 Ks, did walk 5. But the Houston Astros take the first one. News right before the show, because of the weather out there, Game 4 is canceled today.
It is. Moved to tomorrow.
Moved to tomorrow, which makes Game 5 of Friday, which was supposed to be a travel day. And if you've listened to Buster Olney or you've listened to Tim Kirchin, this is not good for the New York Yankees because it does not give their bullpen any type of rest that they're going to need. I know that you'll say that the same thing might be true for the Astros, but the Astros pitchers are going to, pitch much deeper into the innings than the Yankees were going to. Josh Reddick was 1 for 4 for the Astros with a home run, RBI, and a run scored. Gleyber Torres 1 for 2 with a solo shot.
What was the final score?
It was 4-1.
Can't the Yankees just buy more relievers?
I don't think they're allowed to right now anymore. Then in the night game, in the first inning, the Washington Nationals put up 7 runs.
Good Lord.
Patrick Corbin got the win.
It's like
the
we've
Cardinals
seen that somewhere before.
Cardinals was made a comeback. At one point, they had, I think it was the 7th inning or the 8th. I can't say for sure, but the bases were loaded, and less than 2 outs.
And the Mighty Casey struck out.
They didn't score.
So how many runs did they score?
They had already had it could have been a chance for them. I think at that time it was 7-3. They got one more after that. They could have got some more runs in.
So they only scored five
Four,
or six.
it was 7-4.
How many runs did they score in the entire series? 6?
6.
6.
Yep. Going into last night's game, they had 0 earned
20
runs.
to 6?
I believe so.
20 to 6, I think total.
13 in the
4
final
games.
game of the other series, and 6. Good Lord, that is so
I
weird.
saw somewhere that someone said that somebody wrote that for the last 7 2/3 innings, the Cardinals bullpen held the Washington Nationals to 0 runs, and that was impressive. And if that's the hill you're dying on, if that's the hill you're dying on, and this guy was like a well-respected writer on Twitter, and I was like, I don't even want to poke this bear because the guy's going to call me a clown, but I was going to just, is that really the hill you're going to die on? Like that's your
No sarcasm in there whatsoever?
I don't think so.
That's too bad.
Like you said, so after 4 heartbreaking first-round exits in 6 years, the Washington Nationals have advanced to the World Series, and they did it in a dominant fashion. At no point during the NLCS did they trail. They had the lead for all but 5 of the 36 innings. Obviously, the 19-31 start or whatever it was that they mentioned 100 times. I don't know how I could forget about it. They adopted the motto, stay in the fight, and that's what they've done. They fought back from 2 runs down the 8th inning in the wild card game against the Brewers, and they were down 3-0 to the Dodgers in their Game 5. They are the 4th team in Major League Baseball history to reach a World Series with being at least 12 games below 500 during the regular season. And their 4 aces, Scherzer, Strasburg, Corbin, and Sanchez, are 8-2 with a 2.04 ERA and 88 strikeouts and 61.2 innings as starters in the postseason.
Wow.
The last time a Washington team went to a World Series was in 1933.
Uh-oh.
When the Washington Senators fell to the New York Giants. How different was the sports world then? Well,
Babe Ruth was alive.
there you go. There's one.
Black athletes were not allowed to play in Major League Baseball.
All right, there's another one.
Or Dominican or whatever. Anybody that wasn't white couldn't play. Hitler hadn't invaded Poland yet.
No.
Trying to think what else is going on. Derek Bredesen wasn't born yet.
No. Hitler. No, that was like 6 years.
None of us were born yet.
Until 39 when he invaded Poland.
Let's see what else is going on. The Baby Ruth candy bar ripped off Babe Ruth's name.
This happened in 1933?
I don't know. I'm just talking about things.
There was no NBA.
Things have changed since then.
There was no NBA in 1933. There was no Heisman Trophy.
There might be no NBA in 2033.
There was no NCAA
They keep going the way they're going.
basketball tournament. And there was no Major League sports franchises in west of St. Louis then in 1933.
Jump back.
This is their,
The Cardinals were there, right? That was it?
But the Senators moved, obviously.
Yeah.
And so this is...
Where did they move to, Jay?
Washington Senators?
Yeah.
Seattle.
Did they?
I think so.
All right.
I could be wrong. Can you look that up for me, Stat Cat?
Already on it, buddy.
Okay.
I thought they moved to Montreal in...
No, because
Minneapolis, and then became the Twins.
see, I should know
Some
that.
super fan you are.
I know. Gosh, darn it all.
Sorry.
What team?
Wow.
I thought somebody moved to Montreal.
No, Montreal is...
Was it an expansion franchise?
yeah, and then Washington Nationals became from there. So this is their first time in the World Series. So the Nationals...
Yeah, it was the other way. My bad.
is their first time in the World Series. This leaves one professional baseball team to not make it to the World Series. To not see a World Series.
So there's one that has never seen the World Series.
There's one.
Well, that would be the Colorado Rockies, right?
It is not true. No, the Colorado Rockies were there in 2005, right, Serge?
No, they were not.
Oh, that was the Astros. Then they were there in
They were
2000.
kinda
Huh?
The Astros were kind of there.
Yeah, they were there. They played 1 year against the
Tampa Bay Rays?
Rays made it.
The World Series?
Mm-hmm.
They did?
Maybe I'm reading that wrong. The Rays made it. I'm pretty sure it's just. I'm pretty sure it's just the Mariners. Unless I saw something wrong. But hey, we can always come back and look that up.
Padres.
Padres
No,
made it.
sorry.
Padres made it in 84.
The Mariners are the only current Major League Baseball team to never appear in the World Series.
Thank you.
When did the Rays appear in the World Series?
2000. I want to say it's not 8. Shoot.
Who did they lose to? Cardinals?
2009. You know what? If this was in like 1980s, I could tell you all the participants in the World Series.
I know.
And same thing with the 90s. And now we're in 2000s, and I'm like, kids, ruin it for you.
They do ruin everything. They knock over plants, Jay.
Yeah. Last night, like I said, Garrett Cole tossed 7 scoreless innings in Game 3 of the ALCS, helping the Astros beat the Yankees 4-1 to take his 2-1 series lead. In all 3 starts in October, Garrett Cole has surrendered just a single run across 22 2/3 innings for a .40 ERA and has 32 strikeouts.
I can't wait to watch them go against the Nationals. Nationals are going to be rested up.
Then the difference here,
Who do they start out with? They start Scherzer?
Yeah, either way, whoever comes out of the American League is going to be favored to win this series.
That's fine. I think the Nationals are going to win.
The Nationals do not want this big of a layoff.
So, Jaybird, they got the Mariners are the only team that's never won the World Series.
Oh.
And then there are other teams that have never been, and those were
Thank you. Okay.
the Nationals until now. The Padres, the Brewers, the Rangers. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams have never been. Mariners are the only one of those 5 to never win.
You said the Padres have gone.
Sorry. They've been to
Yeah,
they've never won it.
Gotcha.
The only one has never been to, and that is the Mariners.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch that never won.
Correct.
Yes.
Got it. All right.
So, and
You know what I watched yesterday?
okay, hold on, let me guess. It wasn't the Connors.
It was something about the World Series.
You watched 8 Men Out.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
It's a good movie.
I watched over the weekend. I watched A League of Their Own for a good portion of it, not all of it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down and watch this with my daughter. It's always a good question. Did Dottie drop the ball? The final play?
In slow-mo, yeah.
On purpose? Did she drop it on purpose?
Yeah, she dropped it on purpose.
Of course she did.
She let Kit score.
Yeah, it did. Come on. We all know that.
I don't know.
Jay.
No, it's a good question.
Come on.
And then there was a trade in the NFL. We'll talk about all that and more. And we have we're going to have Bobby come in from the Quad City Times, and we're going to have I just said Bobby's coming in, and then we're going to have Kakert in the second hour as well. We're going to talk to him about the Iowa Hawkeyes. But yeah, we've got rankings to look at. We didn't even get to those. Obviously, I mentioned the trade. We're in the era of buyers and sellers. And I put this out on Twitter to Merrick. The Dolphins, basically the front office told the coach, you don't make decisions, we do. Because yesterday head coach Brian Flores said, hey, from here on out, Josh Rosen is our quarterback. And today he said, no, never mind, it's Fitzpatrick. It's just the front office saying, like, whoa, how come we're not on the same page here? We're tanking, right?
Well, if you're tanking, then you want Rosen in, right?
No, because I think that was a matter of, I think
They want
maybe
to protect him.
they want to protect him for the future.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Or to trade him.
Yeah, either one. So he's of value.
All right, well, let's take our first break. Come
That guy
back
got
and
the biggest shaft ever in the NFL, by
Huh?
the way. Josh Rosen. I mean,
it's
come on.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. All right, we're gonna take our first break. We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody, Front Street Brewery is the oldest brew pub in the state of Iowa, and it's right there along the bank of the Mississippi River, and it's been serving Davenport since 1992. They have so many great beers like the Davenport Gold, the Wise Guy, the Raging River, and the oh-so-popular Cherry Bomb Blonde. Their Facebook page can be looked up for drink specials. Also, the webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com. Tap room is now open in the Freight House complex, so make sure you get down and check out our friends from Front Street Brewery. Speaking of getting the... Oh, hey,
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Merrick Brave from SCW Pro, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
Your kitchen and bathroom are the places your guests will see the most when they visit your home. Don't let them see scratched surfaces, outdated cabinetry, and faded walls. Now's the time to complete the home renovation of your dreams. For this type of project, you need an all-star. You need to call Mike at All-Star Home Services. Check out their past transformations at all-starhomeservices.com. Call now and get $500 off your complete kitchen or bath project. Call 563-299-3786 or visit all-starhomeservices.com.
With the loss of a loved one, planning a fitting service can be a real challenge. At Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, with our personalized service and attention to detail, you can be confident the service will be everything you wished for. We've been serving families in our area for generations. We would be privileged to serve yours too. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
The fall sports schedule at Augustana College is kicking into high gear. On the women's side, there's volleyball and soccer, cross country, tennis, and golf. Men's sports include soccer and cross country, golf, tennis, and football. Take a stroll around one of the most beautiful college campuses in the country, right in the middle of the Quad Cities. Division III sports at Augustana College are exciting and competitive. For complete game information, visit augustana.edu. Augustana College, a family-friendly front row seat to big-time small college sports.
Rallies and Checkers has a new cheese-loaded burger. You know, it's what's on the inside that counts. And we think we're onto something. Something ooey, gooey, and stuffed with spicy pepper jack. Something filled with flavor, so you can eat your fill. Didn't we mention it's topped with even more melty goodness? Yeah, this is next-level delicious. It's a cheese overload. Think you can handle it? The new cheese-loaded burger, just $2.99. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
It's October, and at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport, Gavin McGrath says, no trick.
Just treats. The Quad Cities knows we trade for anything, regardless of mileage or age. So push, pull, or drag it in.
With over 2,500 quality pre-owned vehicles.
Don't be afraid to trade. Drive home in a better vehicle with payments from $167 a month. For used truck buyers, shop the Quad Cities' best selection of certified used trucks from $10,988. Pre-owned Silverados, Sierras, Rams, F-150s from $10,988. Now at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport.
And nobody makes it easier to trade.
Push, pull, or drag it in. You're going to get top dollar and save more on the best selection.
What if I don't have a ghost of a chance to get credit?
All credit applications accepted. Nobody works harder than our credit team to help get you approved.
The McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport, 4618 North Brady Street.
Log on McGrathAuto.com.
Hey, we're back here. The best looking trio in the Quad Cities, damn straight. This is Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN AM 1170, the K-Bobbers.
The K-Bob. Before we left, we
should have a bobbing for Apple contest somewhere.
Okay.
When did that not become popular?
When did it not become?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one ever does it.
I've seen one this past month.
You did?
Yeah.
We should do that all the time. That should be something. This should be a contest.
Talk to your girl Coral. She'll set something up for you.
Come on, Coral. I'll bet you're a good bobber.
Before we went to commercial, we were looking at some of the scores around the league. And
I like making fun of Coral.
NLCS to ALCS as well. So one half of the World Series is set with the Washington Nationals. And we won't even, no more, there won't even be any baseball games till tomorrow. Today, NFL officials have been told that they made a bad call on the hands to face penalty.
They had to be told?
Well, they did. They did. Executive President, NFL Executive President Troy Vincent said that one of the calls to the hands of the face was not there. One was, quote was, there was one that was clear that we support, and there was the other, when you look at it, when you review the play, not something that you want to see called in particular on the pass rush. One that you can support, but the other one, clearly if you review it, you've seen some slow-mos, the foul wasn't there, he said. So Matt Patricia took the high road, said that you can't go through the game and rely on the officials. You've got to take care, you got to control the game and give themselves a chance to win, and I appreciate that. The lineman for the Packers has said that he did lobby for the call. Bakatari said that he alerted the officials early in the game that he thought Flowers was committing penalties. He went on to say, quote, I went over to the ref and I said, hey, are we not calling hands to the face again? Because the past 3 plays, I've been staring at the sky. And he's like, he's not looking at my side. But I at least made him aware, Bakatari told reporters. He went on to say, I can definitely tell you for a good portion of the game, I was getting my throat punched in, and I was looking up at the sky a fair amount. If you think about it, if your hand is in my throat, you're probably hitting my face mask, which is pushing my head up in the sky. So he got in his ear. Told him that it was there. I mean, I really don't... when he's understanding that and talking to reporters, which is probably the first time anyone's ever made a media request to talk to him, the whole idea of him saying, like, well, if you think about it, I was looking up at the sky, so that had to be hands in the face. But you called in yesterday, T-Roy, and you don't like the plays that was called.
I didn't like it. I mean, it looked to me like his hand was on his shoulder pads, and his shoulder pads were pushing into his neck. I mean, that's what I could see, for at least the last one. I didn't get a really close look at the first one. I just remember hearing what Booger said, because they didn't really show a bunch of replays on it, but Booger was like, that was not illegal hands to the face.
Well, I think the guy said from the NFL officials said that call is subjective, and Booger replied with, that is not subjective.
Yeah.
That is clearly not it at all. And then you have the pass interference penalty.
The no call?
The no call, sorry, which is always called. It's the one where the D-back gets beat.
And the guy puts his arm around him.
Yeah, and the receiver has to stop because the ball's thrown behind him a little bit. The receiver is not looking for the ball and then runs into him, and then that flag comes every time.
Not that time.
Not that time.
Well, which at the same time, I thought it was a poor play call, too. I mean, that was second down. Granted, I mean, it was 2nd and 6, run again, I think, but whatever. I mean, if they get the call, then it's a great play call, and then there's no chance they lose the game.
It makes a big difference, though. I know you got to win it between the trenches and whatnot you want to say, but it does affect 2 other teams, not just the 2 on the field, 2 other teams in that division greatly.
Well, did you see, too, it went from meaning that the Lions are in first
Yes.
place in the division to last place in the
Yes.
division. And every team in the division then would have 2 losses or a tie and a loss. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would have been 3-1-1, 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. Well, 3-2. I guess the Bears are still 3-2.
Before we take a look at Sports Illustrated's rankings, which we do usually on Tuesday with Vasco, he was busy yesterday doing some work in T-Ray. You were gone. We'll compare their rankings to yours that you gave us on Monday.
Washing his draws, too?
I think so, yes.
Oh, sweet, Vasco.
The day 2 of the XFL draft is almost concluded. They're in the final phase.
Yeah, I saw you tweeting about this, man.
Yeah, the final phase.
Yeah. Final phase. Anybody good get drafted?
What? There's a lot of guys being drafted here. Yeah. Anyone good?
I don't know.
Let's see. I did see that someone from the University of Northern Iowa went today. Yesterday I tweeted that E.J. Bibbs, former tight end at Iowa State, went to the New York Guardians with the he was the 30th overall pick, and also the 30th in the skill portion of the division. Now the other one was a lineman who went to the St. Louis Battlehawks.
I think that's going to happen a lot.
Yeah, and he went 35th overall during the offensive line phase. His name is Jake Campos. So let me see the Northern Iowa guy. I don't know. I can't find him.
It's all very intriguing, Jay.
Yeah, it's different how they did their draft. They did it went skill position first, and then you filled out 10 You got 10 players, and then went offensive line second phase. Those two went, that was yesterday, and then today they started off with your front seven, and then your defensive back, and then now you fill out the rest of it. The rest of you, I think they go to 71 players, so they have 40 that they're done already. Now they just fill out in any order that they want, and then they'll cut down to, I think, 53 and only 40 dress or whatever else. So that's the XFL draft, and it's coming.
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
and I just can't hide it.
I feel bad for the XFL because the AAF has killed any type of excitement for it.
I'm about to lose control. I think I like it.
Can't go wrong with the little Pointer Sisters.
I think that goes back to the first XFL.
Yeah, a little bit.
They ruined it for the AAF.
That one was a little bit, yeah.
Well, the AAF was, we were kind of excited about it.
Well, we'll get there. I'll get some.
At least I was.
Yeah.
With Jay.
Maybe I can become a St. Louis beat writer.
Jay doesn't even remember the AAF.
Yeah.
I do, too.
AAF Shefty.
He forgot his team.
I did.
Who was your team?
Orlando Apollos.
Oh.
But now I'm on the St. Louis Battle Cats.
Battle Hawks.
See?
Who was my team? I can't even remember who my team was.
Your new one?
Your team was San Diego Fleet.
San Diego Fleet.
Oh, that's right.
And then you tried to jump ship. Get it?
Yeah. That's so funny.
All right. Let's take a look at...
Let's see what a failing magazine has to say about the rankings of the NFL.
All right. So yesterday, on Tuesday, the rankings come out of from Sports Illustrated from their Monday morning quarterback. This week, only 7 people voted. Last week was 8. Sometimes it gets up to 12. Maybe the writers, either one, Sports Illustrated fired them, or they just maybe they're running out of they don't have excitement for it, or they're probably busy covering the XFL draft they couldn't do it. Yeah,
that's what it is.
So names that some people that I see on here that are consistent business of football columnists: Andrew Brandt, a few producers, writers, senior editors. Okay, so
right. Who they got at 1?
At number 1,
they better have the Patriots.
It is the Patriots. So that's what you had as well, right?
Yes, sir.
At number 2, the San Francisco 49ers.
Uh-oh. We're toe for toe.
Yep. 5 out of the 6 voters gave them the second place. 1 had them as low as 4.
What?
At number 3 is the New Orleans Saints.
Uh-oh. 3 for 3.
Yep. 1 voter had him as high as number 2. 2 had him as low as number 5. Number 4. I think we're getting a trend here. The Green Bay Packers.
Oh, my Lord. 4 for 4.
Yep.
I'm going to have to start second-guessing my own picks if they match theirs.
I think in the past couple weeks, you guys have been close in the 5.
I know.
The 10, and then it gets wonky after that. At number 5, the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, my God. We were 5 for 5.
Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
You want to go in my room and practice karate? All right. At number 6, the Kansas City Chiefs.
I knew they were going to do that.
Is that what you had?
Nope.
Huh?
I had the Bills.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it gets different from here. So you had the Bills at 6.
Yep.
Number 7, the Houston Texans.
Well, I had the Texans at 7.
All right. Number 8, the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
What'd you have?
8 was the Chiefs.
Okay, that's right. So they still don't have the Bills in here.
Okay.
And you don't have the Vikings in yet.
And my Vikings were at 10.
Okay. At number 9, the Baltimore Ravens.
I had the Ravens at 8.
All right.
I had the Lions at 9, but that was obviously before the Monday night game.
Yes. Does that game change it?
I don't think so. I thought they played a hell of a game, so my rankings would have stayed probably the same.
At number 10, the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
Can I stop you right there? And I want to tell you something. I think the only person in America that's going to be happier to see the 49ers versus the Colts in the Super Bowl than me
is Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick. He's going to sit there with just the proudest dad grin there is.
Yeah, but that means he's not in the Super Bowl.
He won't care because he's that way. He'll just say the whole time, feel like he was right the entire time, that he had a good enough quarterback that could have gotten the Patriots there, and it wasn't Tom Brady. And he traded both of them. He's just going to have his arms crossed. You'll see him smile. If he was at the Super Bowl, he wouldn't smile the entire time. It's just going to be like the biggest goddamn grin you've ever seen. Like more than if it was ever possible that Eli and Peyton were in it. Belichick's going to be so happy.
All right.
He's gonna, my boys. Look at my boys. And what that does prove to him that he could have taken anybody. He can take anybody to the groom in to be the quarterback and take him to the Super Bowl. I mean, look what he did with Matt Castle.
Whatever. He didn't go to the Super Bowl.
No, but they won 11-5 that year.
Yeah. They didn't make the playoffs.
They didn't make the playoffs. That's right.
Isn't that crazy? All right.
Sorry. Well, I'm just telling you.
So we had
keep that visual
Colts
in
at
mind,
9,
though.
right?
The Colts at 10.
Okay.
They had the Ravens at 9. At 11, your Buffalo Bills.
Who did they have at 6, Jay?
6 was
Texans.
No, theirs was the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sorry.
They had the Chiefs there. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
And at 12 is the Detroit Lions. What did you have at 11, T-Roy? 10, 11, and 12.
Vikings, Bears,
Ooh.
Raiders.
Well,
Lions are at 9.
Consistently now, I can tell you the one thing that is consistent through the SI, and I think we look at it a lot more because where we're located, is their dislike for the Chicago Bears on this list at SI.com.
Okay. So who do they have at 13 then?
The Carolina Panthers. Where did you have them at?
I had them at 13.
They're 4-2.
But they were, I mean, I had them behind the Bears though, and the Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you fall on you can't lose your job to an injury?
No.
Because this is what's going to come up with Kyle Allen and then Cam Newton coming back.
When's he coming back?
2 weeks.
Well, we'll see. All right. What's going on at 15 or at 14?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, I had them at 15.
15 is the Los Angeles Rams.
That's dumb.
It is dumb.
I had them at 16. Who do they got at 16?
Can't wait to talk about this trade. 16 is the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, they really hate the Bears. Huh.
17 is the Chicago Bears.
Well, basically they exchanged the Bears for the Colts. On in a way.
Okay.
They have the Colts a lot higher ranked than the Bears. Because this is exactly through 17, because they had the Bears at 17, right?
Yeah, and last week they had them at 16.
Through 17.
They got jumped by the Panthers.
Through 17, we have almost exactly the same rankings, except they do not have the Raiders anywhere.
Well, they do at 18, T-Roy.
Okay, then we're exactly, yeah, all right. I'm sorry, that is right. Yeah, through 18, my bad. My numbers got off a little bit. Well, through 18, we have the exact same teams then.
Okay.
Just different order.
When it gets to be that consistent or whatever else, then we can start crossing teams off like we have all together. So we might be able to figure out
Let's see who they have from 19 below.
The Cleveland Browns.
Okay. I like the Steelers better than the Browns right now, but go ahead.
The Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
And then at 21, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right.
22, the New York Jets.
Okay.
Ooh, I like what they wrote here, though. They got a little funny in here about the New York Jets. Sammy Spleen looked great in his return. Don't roll your eyes over there. That's what happens in mono. You can rupture your spleen.
Yeah, it's a real funny joke. Sammy Spleen looked good for a half.
At 23, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
24, the Denver Broncos. 25, the Tennessee Titans. 26, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And at 27, the New York Giants. 28, the Arizona Cardinals. 29, Atlanta Falcons. And your bottom three, in order, Bengals, Redskins, Dolphins.
Yeah.
So that's SI.com Monday Morning Quarterback. Maybe it's a little bit normal because there's only 7 instead of putting 13 ding dongs in there to do it.
Well, it's pretty consistent with what I have, to be honest with you. I just they put the Jets up a little higher than what I would have for a 1-4
I'm just surprised that the Panthers aren't as high. I mean, 4-2. I guess out of all the 4-2, that would be the ones that you don't believe in the most, right? So I guess that's where they fit. Yeah, the Lions at 12 still. That would make sense. Yeah, I guess that would be the most fraudulent 4-2. Whereas the Packers are the most fraudulent 4-1. Who's better out of who's the most fraudulent out of the undefeateds? Patriots and 49ers.
I don't think either one of them are fraudulent.
Well, which one would win?
Who would win?
Yeah.
I'll take the Niners.
Really?
That defense is going to give Tom fits.
Yeah, but the Patriots defense is pretty good.
I'm just saying, you get in Brady's face.
It's not going to stop him.
They forced 4 more turnovers.
Just saying. I like that 49er defense right now.
They scored 28 of their 35 points via blocked punt return, a fumble return, and 2 Tom Brady rushes. Yeah, Tom Terrific. I don't know what Tom Terrific's going to do when Sammy Spleen comes into town, though.
What about when Danny Dines? Whatever, you're Mr. Dines.
Danny Dines? Yeah, well, they've already met. That happened that was the Thursday night that we're talking about. He looked like Danny Doorknob.
Yeah, thank you.
You were right about that. So, but no, it's a close one. So the trade that happened last night. Jaguars finally dealt Jalen Ramsey after they said they weren't going to do it.
For 2 first-rounders. Are you guys kidding me right now with this?
2 first-rounders. And the fun thing is we're going to break this down and look at it when Bobby comes in, but I want to just talk about it
How's
real
he
quick.
worth 2 first-rounders?
He's, well, I can give you some stats here. Let's see. He's in the 4th season of a 5-year rookie deal, and he's set to make $13.7 million in 2020. So it's still in a pretty good controlled contract, right? Got that going. And then, let's see. What else? He's one of the best cornerbacks for coverage in the NFL. All right.
2 first-rounders? This isn't Khalil Mack, dude. This guy isn't making a difference on every play. And he's kind of a punk. I don't want to play. I want to be traded. He's a bit of a crybaby whiner. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't see it. I mean, what back in the day we had Revis Island. All of a sudden he was no good. Who was the other guy right about the same time as him? I mean, these guys lose their ability to shut someone down really fast. And with all these different rules that no one calls for pass interference or does call for pass interference, if you're depending, I don't know. That's too much to give up for a corner. I'm sorry. 2 first-rounders?
The crazy thing is the Rams have moved from a 60-1 to 50-1 to win the Super Bowl, and from 25-1 to 20-1 to win the NFC at Caesars Sportsbook. The other thing is this: the cost that they're doing. The Rams haven't had a first-round pick since selecting Jared Goff first overall in 2016. They don't own another first-rounder until 2022.
Watch that team slowly decline.
It's got to. They're number 1 on the books in 2020 in quarterback and running back, and number 5 on defensive line on the books. That has to be shaved off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way they can't operate like that.
I'm sorry.
So, like you said, this is a win now or go home, right?
Well, guess what? They're going home.
They also traded their Pro Bowl corner Marcus Peters to the Baltimore Ravens for linebacker Kenny Young and a 5th-round 2020 draft pick. So,
Talib just went out with an injury.
Yep, they went on IR. I mean, they had to do something, but more importantly, they need offensive line help. Jared Goff can't set up the play action.
Yeah. Well, they don't have no one to run the ball either. Because I got news for you. These other guys are not Todd Gurley. Doesn't add up.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be joined by Bobby Metcalf from the Quad City Times in studio.
All right, everybody, make all your Sundays fun days at Pints with $2.50 20-ounce domestic draft, $3 you call it, and live music from 6 to 9. Pint supplies the party, you supply the fun. Check out this lineup coming up. We have Jordan Danielson this week, and then followed by the Packers-Chiefs matchup. So make sure you get into Pints at 5268 Utica Ridge Road for every happy hour as well, so you can enjoy some free Vans pizza. That's right, at 5 o'clock, Pints offers free Vans pizza. So get in there and check them out. That's 5268 Utica Ridge Road in Davenport.
This is Julian Vandervelde, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
Leaks, ruptures, nooks, cranny, crevice, too. You've got those wet basement blues. Call the absolutely dry guy. Call the absolutely dry guy. Put that water back in its place. It's time to reclaim your living space when you call the absolutely dry guy. Or visit us online at absolutelydryguy.com. This was brought to you by Absolutely Dry Basement Waterproofing.
Your kitchen and bathroom are the places your guests will see the most when they visit your home. Don't let them see scratched surfaces, outdated cabinetry, and faded walls. Now's the time to complete the home renovation of your dreams. For this type of project, you need an all-star. You need to call Mike at All-Star Home Services. Check out their past transformations at all-starhomeservices.com. Call now and get $500 off your complete kitchen or bath project. Call 563-299-3786 or visit all-starhomeservices.com.
It's October, and at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport, Gavin McGrath says, no trick.
Just treats. The Quad Cities knows we trade for anything, regardless of mileage or age. So push, pull, or drag it in.
With over 2,500 quality pre-owned vehicles.
Don't be afraid to trade. Drive home in a better vehicle with payments from $167 a month. For used truck buyers, shop the Quad City's best selection of certified used trucks from $10,988. Pre-owned Silverados, Sierras, Rams, F-150s from $10,988. Now at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport.
And nobody makes it easier to trade.
Push, pull, or drag it in. You're going to get top dollar and save more on the best selection.
What if I don't have a ghost of a chance to get credit?
All credit applications accepted. Nobody works harder than our credit team to help get you approved.
The McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport, 4618 North Brady Street.
Log on McGrathAuto.com.
Rallies and Checkers has a new cheese-loaded burger. You know, it's what's on the inside that counts. And we think we're onto something. Something hooey, gooey, and stuffed with spicy pepper jack. Something filled with flavor, so you can eat your fill. Did we mention it's topped with even more melty goodness? Yeah, this is next level delicious. It's a cheese overload. Think you can handle it? The new cheese-loaded burger, just $2.99. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
If you're running a business, how much should you invest in retaining your employees? First Midwest Bank has ideas. In today's tight labor market, keeping your employees is more important than ever. A First Midwest banker can help you determine what type of 401k plan to offer. At First Midwest Bank, they're not just bankers, but expert financial advisors. Talk to one today or visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com.
Golick and Wingo in the morning. Dan Lebitard when you get to work. Don't hassle us, we're local for lunch. Spend your day with a Quad City sports leader. ESPN 1170 AM.
Hey, we're back here in the Hassle Castle, and we got Bobby Metcalf from the Quad City Times with us.
Bobby is fresh off of not watching the NLCS or the ALCS.
Oh, no, I watched the NLCS.
Oh, wow. I thought for sure you Metcalf the Major League Baseball
Oh, are you
playoffs.
kidding me? I love watching the Cardinals get housed.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I thought it was hilarious.
You did, huh?
Yesterday was great. 7-0, 1 inning in. 5-0, 15 pitches in. It was awesome.
What I'm loving about this series is we played the game hard, we played the game right. We started some we finished the Yeah.
Who's that?
That's how
Mike
we
Shell.
roll. We don't start, but no one with us ever. Ever. All right? Now, I don't give a who we play. We're going to them up. We're going to take it right to them the whole way. We're going to kick their ass. Yeah. Let's go!
Yeah. Really came back to bite him in the rear end. They went and scored 6 runs in 4 games. Went into last night batting 122. Ugh.
He's really, really lucky that they pitched well the first 2 games. Because you imagine if they got lit up, if like Michaelis got lit up and he had pitched Flaherty 104 pitches in that blowout against the Braves.
Yeah.
He'd be getting roasted right now.
I really didn't think that they were going to lose last night. I didn't care that it was in Washington or that Patrick Corbin was on the mound. I think it's just hard to sweep, and I figured eventually those bats would come through, but...
they aren't a very good baseball team. And I know everyone's going, well, they made the NLCS. Well, okay.
Yeah, they did. But, nope, the Washington Nationals sweep the St. Louis Cardinals. Howie Kendrick is your National League Championship Series MVP at the young age of 36. He went 5 for 17 with 4 RBIs in the series. Players after their 36th birthday to hit for 1,000 OPS or higher in a minimum of 15 playoff appearances and an LLCS win. Barry Bonds, Jeff Conine, Paul Molitor, Marco Scutaro, there's a name, and Don Baylor.
How crazy is it that pitching staff held that line to 6 runs and the pitchers were MVP of the NLCS?
Yeah, that is nuts. Like we said earlier, Montreal, the Nationals, who relocated from Montreal in 2005, they made the playoffs 6 times. This is the first time the franchise will appear in the World Series. With this, the Seattle Mariners are the last remaining active team to ever reach a World Series. So, and the first one since the Washington Senators, a Washington-based team, lost to the New York Giants in 1933.
We absolutely need the Astros to get to the World Series. Most pitching matchups would be insane.
It's going to be great, and I think the Astros will do it. Obviously, with the rain out today, that's going to hurt the Yankees bullpen. I don't think the layoff is going to help the Washington Nationals much. Their bats, how's that?
Yeah, but it'll help. I mean, they can set their rotation now. They can have however they want. If they want, you could have Strasburg go game 1 or Scherzer go game 1. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, let me ask you another question, everybody, before we get back in the NFL talk. I didn't think this at the time. People get nuts for it or whatever else. I don't care what his reaction was. I never thought Didi Gregorius' the bat off his ball was a home run, like a no-brainer, and then it died at the dirt track, warning track. So now we have this big debate that the ball is not juiced in the playoffs, but it was in the regular season. And doesn't that just help Justin Verlander even more because he had this incredible whip, but he gave up more home runs than he has in his career during the regular season, but his whip was his lowest?
Explain to me then. If you're at baseball, you want Yankees Dodgers in the World Series. So why would you do something to then?
There's no reason for them to all of a sudden change the ball for the playoffs. Why would they not want home runs in the playoffs? It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. What good does it do? Who win? You know what I mean? You can't tell me that that's correct.
It's the thing is that the MLB is not taking a stance during the regular season that the ball is juiced, and nor are they taking a stance during the postseason that the ball is de-juiced.
Because it's a game of. It's just like climate change, Jay. It changes all the time. I'm just saying. Every time I hear about this stupid
was the ball juiced when Carlos Correa went yard in Game 2?
Right.
Like the ball not juiced or whatever. I mean, like.
It's all a game of odds and chances. I mean,
the thing is you're right, because although home runs are going up every year, strikeouts went up this year. It was an all-time record this year for strikeouts.
Okay.
So, I don't know. People
when they're
look at
changing the
things-
way they play the game, and people are trying to
maybe it's
jack
just-
home runs instead of playing small ball, then yes, those two things happen. Am I right?
No, that's what they're doing.
Then that's what happens. And when you have people not playing small ball, going for big time home runs will be up, strikeouts will be up.
To your point,
period.
If you listen to yesterday's show, or not yesterday's, the ESPN, even they had sound bites all day long with Mark Teixeira talking about going against Garrett Cole. First thing he said was, just attack right away. When you got the hitters like the Yankees, you're going to beat them with the long ball, so go up and attack. And they didn't, and they got 5 walks out of it. So I get what you're saying.
All right, but let me throw this out to the playoffs. Now they're looking at season-long statistics with this ball and the way it's coming off the bat and everything else, okay? Right? That's how they're looking at this, okay? And they're saying, well, all of a sudden it's not coming off the bat so well because of why? The best pitchers have made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me here? You don't have the statistics of the crappy teams with the crappy pitchers coming out to help juice those numbers up. It's real easy to figure out if you just look at it. People that jump to conclusions, yeah, baseball's going to sit back and just shake their head, being like, yeah, acid rain. We're all going to die
You're
tomorrow.
not facing the 5th starter.
Are you?
Right. That's what I'm getting at. You're not playing garbage.
Are you going to sit here and tell me that the pitching staff for the Minnesota Twins is not? All right, I got you.
But I'm just saying,
It's a good point.
You're
No, you
throwing
got a good point.
the worst of the worst into these statistics, and then you're having the best of the best, and you don't think that the ball is going to not be as active. Verlander's not going to give you as hittable a pitch as somebody else. That's the ace on, let's say, I don't know who would be the worst team.
We all want Astros and Nationals here because I don't want to watch Boone just ring up his Fitbit steps walking in and out of that dugout.
I want the Yankees.
CC Sabathia's been a starter his whole life, and he's a one-batter guy in the playoffs now.
Mhm.
What?
Go Yanks.
I was sitting there just in game 2 going, what?
Why not?
I don't care.
I don't either. Let's go Yankees.
I care.
Last year too.
Yeah.
Sue me.
I care.
You want to turn his mic on at least?
Oh, sorry, he stepped out.
I said go Yanks. I cheered for the Patriots in the Super Bowl last year too. Sue me. Let's go.
Yeah.
Who did they play last year?
What?
Oh, that's right. I did too.
The Rams, yeah. The team that you've been kicking out of your rankings all the time.
The offensive genius, Sean McVay, who scored 3 points.
Well,
he's smart.
Let's talk about this trade. The Rams yesterday traded Jalen Ramsey. They traded for Jalen Ramsey, Jacksonville Jaguars, and they also did some other trades. And it's getting close to the buy-sell time for some teams. So they traded 2 first-rounders, their 2020 and their 2021, and a 4th-rounder in 2021. Why have they not started doing what the NBA does and protect some of these first-rounders?
They haven't had a first-round pick since 16.
Yeah, since 16. Now they won't have
Well,
one
look
until
at
2020.
so Jacksonville gets what one? They get one this next year. They get
2020. Yep, and 2021. And then and also a 4th
so
rounder.
Jacksonville could really load this team up.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the number 1 quarterback coming out this year?
Tua.
Mm-hmm.
I like Hurts better.
You may like Hurts better, but it's going to be Tua.
But I think the Jacksonville has a better chance of getting Hurts than Tua.
Tom Coughlin said, quote, given the situation with Jalen, we made this decision based on what we thought is best interest of the Jacksonville Jaguars for the season and well into the future. He went on to
Smart
say,
move for the Jaguars.
We feel the trade that we struck with the Rams gives us great value for the next 2 drafts, and we remain very confident that our team today will compete for the season for a divisional title. Jalen was a productive player, but the time came to move on, and we wish him and his family the best in L.A.
Gardner Minshew's not going to be your starter for years to come. I'm sorry. Love his stash, Uncle Rico. But they get a chance here to beef up an O-line and possibly get the quarterback of the future. Because they're going to have basically 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years. If things work right, you beef up that O-line. You already have a good running back. I feel that the wide receiving core is decent. The Shark guy's not bad. Or Chark, I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Shark. I don't know what the Rams are doing.
Day Westbrook,
I really
not too
don't.
bad. And their defense is still solid without Jalen Ramsey.
I know that defense is struggling in LA, but that offense is also struggling. They can't protect Goff. Goff's struggling. They don't have a running back they can trust right now. There's a lot of issues in LA.
Okay.
Did they wear Todd Gurley out? It's possible.
I don't know what his
This becomes the 10th time in NFL history that a trade has happened for 2 first-rounders or more. Okay?
All right. The 10th time?
The 10th time.
Khalil Mack and Jay Cutler, I think, are on that list.
Those are both on this list. So we've got this one right now. All right? Jalen Ramsey.
So the
Get
Bears
yourself a
made
pen.
2 of these?
Get yourself a pen.
All right, so we got Khalil and Cutler.
Tell me where this one's going to rank in history. All right? First, after when you give me the probably the best one on here, I would assume, I'll speculate right now that probably we're going to say that even though we don't know for a fact, but Khalil Mack's probably one of the best ones. But you've got Khalil Mack from last year, right?
Right.
You've got the one from yesterday. You've got Cutler in 2009.
Trying to think of any. I can't think of any others to be off the top of my head.
Nah, I might as well just list them.
Yeah.
I am. I'm going to give them to you now. I want you to tell. All right. Obviously, the Ricky Williams trade. The Dolphins got them from New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
After what the New Orleans did there to get there. You've got Keyshawn Johnson. Tampa Bay traded for Keyshawn Johnson from the New York Jets in the year 2000.
Okay.
The Falcons traded for Jeff George from the Indianapolis Colts in 1994. Okay. The Minnesota Vikings traded for Herschel Walker from the Dallas Cowboys in 1989, in perhaps the most lopsided deal in NFL history. The Cowboys received 3 first-round picks and parlayed those into the Super Bowl teams that we talk about now. All right. Colts are on here again. They traded for linebacker Fred Young from Seattle. This was in 1988.
Who cares?
Yeah. This guy ended up requesting a trade, and the deal ended up being a disaster for the Colts, though. The Colts again. They acquire Eric Dickerson from the Rams in 1987. That year, they clinched a playoff berth for the first time in 10 years. And Dickerson went on to win the NFL rushing title in 88, but injuries after that slowed him down before he moved on after the 91 season. All right, and the Rams acquired Jim Everett from the Houston Oilers in 1986.
So when we're saying which one was the best trade, like, for what team?
No, which one's probably the best deal? Obviously, these are all kind of a lot.
I would say Herschel Walker was the best
deal. What I'm telling you in history, what I'm telling you, right?
Khalil Mack was second.
But
like you know what I'm saying? One team got a good deal,
Yeah.
one team got screwed. The Bears got a very good deal.
For the team that traded for the person and the person who actually traded for and gave up first 2 picks, how often did that work out? Very rarely. Very rarely does it work out
for the team that
got the guy,
gave
the person,
up the guy for the picks.
Person, yeah. It's what's the best one to get the person over the picks?
I would say the Bears.
I don't say you can't. I don't think you can say Mac's the best yet.
Okay.
If they struggle this year, if they don't make the playoffs, I mean,
I would say this.
Yeah, but still, he's the biggest impact player on that team, though, hands down.
I would say.
Right,
I would say that's the only.
You're making that trade
right
with a Super Bowl in mind, or at least a deep playoff run in mind.
Let's put it: the Bears getting Cutler didn't do anything. The Dolphins getting Ricky didn't do anything. Keyshawn
Super Bowl
helped them win a Super Bowl. That is okay. It wasn't great. Jeff George, obviously, it doesn't matter. Jeff George sucks. This young guy didn't do anything. He sucks. Eric Dickerson, Hall of Famer, but he didn't take him to the Super Bowl. No good.
But
we all know Chris Everett is not that good of a basketball player.
I'd say Dickerson's up there. He took him to the playoffs, won a rushing title.
Okay, he might be up there. We'll say that's okay then. All right, we'll give that another one that's okay.
Yeah, I actually like where your head's at. I want to see where.
And the Walker going to the.
I want to see where it goes at the
Herschel
other way.
going to the Vikings. That's
terrible
screwed.
for the Vikings.
Yeah.
So,
I'd say the worst trade on here is the Herschel Walker trade.
That's the worst one. But the most beneficial for the player is probably Keyshawn because they got a Super Bowl out of it. Right?
Yeah.
Khalil Mack, I mean...
the Mack also got a $116 million or whatever it was deal. So
Khalil Mack's probably...
But I don't think you can say that trade has 100% worked out for the Bears yet until you kind of see what they do with it. I mean, yeah, he's made that defense.
Now, the other teams that got
but
picks, I mean, that Cutler trade, that helped the Broncos get to the Super Bowl. I'd say that worked out for Denver.
Did it? I don't remember who. I mean,
it took him 3 years to find a replacement for Cutler, so it took him till 2012.
And that was Manning, right?
Yeah.
But they used that to get a lot of those other defensive.
I don't know who they drafted with the Cutler picks.
I really don't know either.
They don't. There's no one listed on here actually as what would be the suitable. The Saints with the Ricky Williams. It doesn't say much for that. The Jets went on to make 4 playoff appearances during the next 6 seasons after trading Keyshawn Johnson. They bumped up their passing game with names like Lavernius Coles and Santana Moss. The Colts used one of the picks, the 1995 pick, to deal to pick up Marvin Harrison.
So the Broncos turned one of those picks into Tim Tebow.
Yeah. Here's one for you. Will you look this up for me, Serge?
Yep.
When it comes to the Falcons acquiring Jeff George from the Colts, it says here this was a deal that was 4 years in the making. The Falcons considering drafting George at number 1 overall in 1990 before trading the pick to the Colts. That didn't. Never mind. I was trying to think. When did the Colts take Tony Mandrich?
Oh, that was like 80.
It's right around
9.
here. Were they back to back that bad? Never mind. I thought. Sorry, Serge. I had you looking up something that. So anyway, they got Marvin Harrison in that. We know the Dallas Cowboys. That one's number 1. Seattle Seahawks with the Fred Young. They did nothing with it. They went on to miss the playoffs for 10
Colts
consecutive
got
seasons.
Mandrick in 96.
Really? And the Rams, they restocked their roster. They made the playoffs in 88, advanced to the NFC Championship game in 89, but still the impact was limited. And the Oilers, let's see. Jim Everett worked out for the Rams. He led them to the playoffs in 3 of his first 4 seasons, but didn't make it again after that. Oilers, obviously they had Warren Moon, so after that deal. I'm just saying these things don't work out, these trades. You think it's going to, and this we'll know within 2 years. We'll know within this year.
Yeah.
Because of the money that they have to shave off, too, in the 2020.
Right. This dude's going to want to get paid, stay a Ram. I don't know. I think it's a dumb trade. Is he worth 1 first-round pick? Yeah.
Do you think this cornerback is going to get them over the 49ers?
No.
No. It doesn't get them over the Seahawks.
How many points did their defense score against the 49ers? I mean, how many points? How many points did they score against the 49ers, though? 7?
Robert Woods, the receiver, had a rushing touchdown. That was it.
Tell me how making that defense is better is going to make your offense score more points.
Right.
It's just, but
they can't protect Goff. They don't. No idea what's going on with the running back situation with Gurley there. There are a lot of other issues. Their linebacking core is not very good. There's a lot of other issues on that team besides cornerback.
Last year, among the 58 defenders who were targeted at least 75 times, Ramsey posted the 12th lowest passer rating allowed, 76.4. On the other end of the spectrum, who they traded, Marcus Peters, posted the 11th highest passer rating allowed with 104.2.
I'm not saying they didn't get better at the corner position. They obviously did, but I don't think that makes them
I don't think it makes them that big of
Super
a
Bowl
deal either.
contender.
I'm way against 2 first-round picks for this guy. He's not 2 first-round pick worthy. Sorry.
And you're going to end up with a headache because, this is the guy who showed up with the Brinks truck to preseason to tell Jacksonville, hey, I want to get paid.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I said earlier, he's a prima donna. It's crazy. You know why the Patriots are so good? Because when they have guys like this, they just get rid of them. They ship them out. See ya.
Yeah.
They don't deal with it. Because all that is a distraction to your locker room. It's cancer. It works from the inside.
Well, except the time they employed a mass murderer.
Well, yeah, that. But
that's a minor detail.
Minor detail.
That's great.
But you didn't hear anything about him until he got arrested for killing somebody. You know what I'm saying? You didn't hear about him causing problems in the locker room. You didn't hear about Aaron Hernandez.
So he's always a great team guy, is what you're getting at.
Well, I'm just saying you never heard anything about him being a not a good team guy. Granted, he's a mass murderer. I can't stop that, but the dudes are going to do that undercover no matter what. I don't care what job they have. You follow what I'm saying? I get your point. But just going out and being just a jerk in general, just like going out and being the guy that's disruptive.
I think Aaron Hernandez had some issues. They knew about. He had.
Were they covered up or not? I don't. You just never heard about him.
Whether I'm not saying that they knowingly knew what he was about the murder part of it, but I mean, he had issues at Florida. He had issues, I think, there. I mean, Randy Moss was never a. Randy Moss was a prima donna.
And then when he started to get prima donna, they shipped him off. You know what I'm saying?
He was a prima donna in Oakland.
I know, but when he came there, he was quiet. He just scored touchdowns.
Yeah, it's true. He did the Patriot way. He bought in.
24? Was it 24 receiver?
They haven't gotten rid of Josh Gordon.
He doesn't start any problems right now yet either.
Well, he was suspended while he was with them.
Well,
those personal problems.
He's addicted to
He's got
pot,
depression.
man.
But that I'm not denying that, but there's still it's a distraction.
I'm talking more like along the lines of him showing up and it's all about me, and not about the team.
I think they had Darrell Revis on that team.
Again.
After he had caused distraction somewhere else. That's what I'm saying.
But they've willingly. It's not like they just don't employ prima donnas.
I know, but that they.
I'm saying by the time the prima donna gets there, it's not the same formula.
And if they don't follow their formula, then they're like, then it didn't work out. They'll say like, obviously,
they'll bring them in, but if they don't change their ways, then they get rid of them.
Yeah, they're still.
Come on,
they're still paying.
I
for
don't
it.
like them either, Bobby. Don't act like I'm trying to sit over here and defend them. I hate them. It's just what they do. They just don't put up with it. I don't know. 2 first-round picks is insane.
All right, Metcalf. The NHL season has started. How are things looking for the Blackhawks?
I don't know. They won the other night.
Okay, that's a good start, right?
That was the first win.
1-2.
They beat Edmonton. That's the only reason I saw that because I was flipping around during the NLCS, and I was also watching that travesty of a Monday night game. But
glad we agree on that.
I don't know that I haven't. To be honest with you, there's so many other stuff going on. I don't pay a lot of attention to the NHL as much as I used to.
What else is going on? The Storm's going to be opening up soon.
Storm's opening up. We're still in football season and.
St. Ambrose.
St. Ambrose.
Have you been covering any of the volleyball, or has it all been Coss?
Matt's been doing it all.
Congratulations to Pleasant Valley for winning the MAC title last night. And then Coss has also got the MAC meet tomorrow down in Muscatine.
What are you doing this week for high school ball?
Going to Iowa City Liberty for their game against.
Okay.
I'll tell you who's excited for the NHLJ.
Dorf.
St. Louis.
No,
I get it. Yeah, because they don't have baseball to cheer anymore.
Yeah, and your point is what?
And they don't have a football team anymore, too.
Yeah, they don't have a football team. Yeah,
well, hey, that's not true.
Oh, they have the
They have the
XFL.
Battle
They've got the
Cats.
battle.
They have the Battle Stars.
So excited for those quarterbacks. God.
They have the Battle Axes.
Oh, boy, Aaron Murray is really going to light it up.
For the Tampa Bay Vipers. Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's gonna be like the AFL. It's gonna be like whatever the heck that league was that I've already forgotten about.
You already said it. Don't act like you don't know what it is.
He started.
No, I was gonna say the AFL, but I knew that wasn't right.
AAF.
What is it? I don't even know.
AAF.
AAF.
Yeah, so the 25th.
We butchered that one too.
The 25th is the opening night of the Quad City Storms here in the Quad Cities.
They open up on Saturday in Peoria. The season.
They're always at Peoria.
Yeah, 13 times.
But yeah, the 25th is the home opener for Quad City Storm. And then
take on defending champ Huntsville.
Look at that. $2 beers and hot dogs until the puck drops. First 1,000 fans get a laser bracelet. How's St. Ambrose football going?
They're on their 4th quarterback.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Their starter went down with a hamstring injury last week. But they had a freshman come in and ended up beating Olivet and Nazarene on the road, which is pretty good, which is a nice win.
Yeah.
They got Trinity this week, which if there's a time to try and get a freshman quarterback acclimated, Trinity would be a good time to do it. They're 1-6. Ambrose is still alive for a conference championship. They're still top of the conference. So they got to win this week. They get a bye, and then they get St. X, which is probably for the conference title, I would think. St. X is pretty good.
So are they at home or away this week?
They're at home. Second home game of the year.
So you're going to Liberty on Friday, Ambrose on Saturday?
Yeah, they're a night game, 6 o'clock.
Busy guy.
Yeah.
What do you got? Do you have to cover anything tonight or tomorrow?
No, I've got work in the office and write some stuff. Write about this freshman quarterback for Ambrose and Storm Media Day tomorrow. So,
you were the LA Kings curse. You hear what they're doing with that?
Are you talking about the Taylor Swift thing?
I am.
What is the Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift had the most sold out performances at the Staples Center So they had a banner raised up, and after winning the Stanley Cup in 2012 and 2014, the Kings haven't gotten out of the first round of the playoffs since the banner commemorating Swift's sellout streak at the Staples Center was raised. And then they go into a bunch of puns here. Swift might sing "Don't Blame Me," but the Kings do. The team is trying to shake it off by covering the banner with a blank cloth, leaving a blank space in the rafters.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing I've ever
They're not taking
heard.
any chances. They're covering up a banner. Because first of all, why raise a banner for sellout performances?
I don't know. I have
Because there's haven't been a lot of banners going up in the Staples Center recently.
Yeah, but
which is a weird thing to say.
to get a banner up in an arena takes a season-long feat of a conference title or a world championship of some sort,
Or an AFC Championship appearance.
Right, but Taylor Swift's got a banner.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Taylor Swift's done more in her career than you have. She can have all the banners she wants.
But I'm not asking for a banner. I'm not asking for a banner.
Bobby's a Swiftie.
No, I was a country Taylor Swift fan. I'm not so much on.
Get that cassette out of your back
You got a
pocket.
crush
Maybe
on
you
her,
wouldn't be so
Robbie.
angry.
Let's come true on this. You got a crush on Taylor Swift, don't you? It's all right. Jay loves Joan Jett and Lita Ford.
So you must love the new video for Sunday Night Football. Joan Jett and Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, Joan Jett's had some work done.
I'm not a big Joan Jett or whatever else. I mean, it's all right. I love rock
I've
and roll.
been waiting all day.
Yeah, I like that. No, Lita Ford. Yeah.
I like Carrie Underwood.
Not only is she going to be in Cedar Rapids to open up for the Hometown Heroes concert with Bret Michaels, she's going to come to Staples Center, Tax Slayer Center, and open up for Alice Cooper when he comes.
Are they going to give her a banner?
She deserves one. You know people more than I do at Tax Slayer Center. Maybe we should talk to them.
Done more than you in your life.
They just renovated. They just renovated the Tax Slayer Center.
What'd you say?
They just renovated the Tax Slayer Center.
Really?
Yeah, not like just the bowels, like where the locker rooms are and stuff.
Okay.
What'd they do?
Repainted it, put some new floor down, renovated all the locker rooms, all the side rooms where the concert, the roadies would be. It looks nice. It's well done.
All right, before we let you go, I'm going to ask you a question. Anybody here? Washington Nationals are going to the World Series. It's their first appearance. The last team to win the World Series in their first appearance was in 2002. It was the Anaheim Angels. Who did they beat?
San Francisco Giants.
Very good. He didn't even stutter there. Not one bit. That is true. All right.
Joe Madden.
Yeah.
Got hired.
He got hired for the Angels today.
Yep.
Who are the Cubs going to hire?
Welcome home, Joe
probably
Madden.
David Ross.
But then what do we do? What are they doing? They're bringing in David Ross, Joe Girardi, Gabe Kapler, the bench coach.
Welcome back, Cotter's coming in.
Yep, the bench coach from the Astros. What are they even wasting time for?
I don't know.
I gotta get a list and put up odds.
It's the Rooney Rule, dude. You got to interview a bunch of people.
That's not not
not
how the Rooney Rule
is at all.
I know what it is, you ding-dongs.
We were talking about that at softball practice the other night, though. Last night about why are they? I mean, the Gabe Kapler one just is crazy.
This isn't the Sweat Hogs. He can't manage.
No, he didn't manage the Philadelphia Phillies either.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're going to do. Any manager they hire is probably going to be the wrong guy.
Bringing Ryan.
You don't like
Sandberg.
Rossi?
I don't know. I mean, when John Lester is saying, I talk to him like I talk to a friend, I would never talk to him like a boss or something like that. It's like, well, do you really want to bring in Ross if his best friend doesn't want to respect him as a manager?
That's a good question.
So I don't know.
All right, you can follow Bobby on Twitter at BobbyMetcalf88. He said he's going to be up at Liberty on Friday, at St. Ambrose on Saturday. And then what else are you looking forward to? Bears this weekend?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sound excited?
You nervous about that game?
Well, if Kamara doesn't play, then no.
Is he questionable?
Yeah, he's got a high ankle sprain.
Great.
Not afraid of Teddy Two Gloves?
If Kamara's not in the game, is Breeze going to play? I've heard talk that Breeze was going to come back for this game.
Nothing yet.
If they're going against Teddy Two Gloves and no Kamara, then I don't think it's going to be an issue. But
I think the under is going to sound great in the total for there. All right, well, thanks, Bobby. Thanks for coming in.
No, Breeze is listed as out still.
He is still out. Okay.
Playing along on our worst trades of all time that involved 2 first-rounders or more.
I got really soured on the NFL by Monday night. That really?
Really?
Yeah. That ticked me off.
Switch over to NBA like T-Ray?
No, he did not.
Done with the
Don't
NBA.
do that. Don't do that.
Done.
Start that.
It's the CHINBA.
Yeah. That was a good
Chin-
logo
Chinba.
that you tweeted, by the way.
Yeah,
I like
Chinba.
that. The Chinba. All right, Bobby, thank you so much for coming in. We got to take a quick break. And we'll be right back after this.
All right, Quad Cities, if you're out there and you're getting all your social media sites together, asking everybody what you need, you don't have to worry about it. We have Locals Love Us. They'll tell you where you get your oil changed, where you're going to get a tattoo, or where you're going to grab lunch. Just grab the guide and look through that awesome table of contents to help you find what you're looking for, or go to localsloveus.com. Click on Quad Cities and browse your favorites. It's easy to use, and they're going to rank the most popular places for you. So make sure you check them out. Those are our friends from Locals Love Us.
This is Tom Kakert from HawkeyeReport.com, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
At Crawford Company, we specialize in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. Sports, on the other hand?
Hey, Crawford guy, go long!
No, I can't.
Here comes the pitch to Crawford guy. Strike three.
Come on, Crawford guy, take the shot.
Sports may not be our specialty, but home comfort is. Crawford Company, plumbing and drain cleaning, heating and air conditioning.
From local to global, ESPN 1170 has you covered. Your Quad City sports show is here for you. Don't hassle us, we're local with your favorite foursome, T-Roy, Jaybird, Surge, and you. Weekdays noon to 2 on the Quad City sports leader. ESPN 1170 AM wants you to be an insider. Get access to great contests at ESPN1170am.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged. From the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Since 1978, Advantage Advertising has been your one and only choice for promotional products and corporate apparel, all with your company's logo. At Advantage Advertising, you'll find products that are perfect for golf outings, company anniversaries, holiday parties, or health, wellness, and safety programs. We're accredited by the Better Business Bureau and a long-standing member of the Quad Cities Chamber. Visit AdvantageAdvertising.us to see all of the possibilities. Advantage Advertising, a proud supporter of Iowa State athletics.
ESPN 1170 AM is the Quad Cities sports leader and your home of the local sports show. Don't hassle us, we're local. Listen for a chance to win everything from tickets to free food. Every time you win and pick up your prize at the ESPN 1170 AM Pepsi ticket window, we'll give you a free Pepsi for the road as well. It's like winning twice. Get more chances to win by downloading the ESPN 1170 AM app or by going to ESPN1170am.com. In business, is it better to build your way to growth or buy your way? First Midwest Bank has ideas. It's a critical decision and different for every company. A First Midwest commercial banker can help you weigh your options, because at First Midwest, they're not just bankers, but expert financial advisors. Talk to one today or visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com. M&A momentum, strategic momentum, business momentum. First Midwest Bank.
Online sports betting is here with EliteSportsbook.com. If you are an active Rhythm City Casino Resort Club member, go to EliteSportsbook.com now and follow the prompts to start betting. Not a Resort Club member? Visit Rhythm City to join today. Bet with Elite Sportsbook at Rhythm City Casino Resort or online now. More ways to get in the game with EliteSportsbook.com and Rhythm City Casino Resort. Must be 21. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Well, Tom Kager just fell into the studio. I think he's drunk.
Jeez.
I got all kinds of heat to bring today.
Do you?
Yep.
Well, God, don't be bringing it at me.
I was just working out with Randazzo, and he's still crying about Monday night.
He should be. He got robbed. Come on. You can't watch that game and just not. I'm not even a
Hey,
Lions
you know what?
fan.
Score more points.
Well, if
Cash
Hawkins,
in.
if the former Hawkeye hadn't dropped the touchdown.
Call it cash in points.
Yeah, he dropped a touchdown.
He's all conspiracy theory.
Yeah, he cost me fantasy points too when he did.
You know what? I had Lions plus 3.5.
No, I had Lions plus
So
5.
I was real happy to see a dude fall down.
Jay went 4-2 again in the NFL world using my rankings.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So that puts me at 14 14-4.
14-4.
Cheers.
Guys should be making money, you'd think.
Yeah.
Why don't you turn on your microphone so we hear what
Hand
you're
over
saying?
fist. Just handing out dollars at the Elite Sportsbook.
What's going on with our Hawkeyes, Tom? Come on, man.
Oh, Tom, you can't come in like that. Tom would, if this was in Twitter world, Tom would mute you or block you.
He would not.
Yeah, you would. You have to be nice to him.
No, you just
I'm
have
just
to be
nice.
logical.
Okay.
Well, I just asked a question. What's going on with the Hawkeyes?
You
What
know,
are
they
your
lost.
thoughts?
They lost to two teams that they were favored to lose to.
Okay.
I mean, the people that you get frustrated with are you got to fire everybody.
Oh no, we're not
That's the
firing
people
anybody.
that irritate me. That after two tough losses, and they were tough losses. There's no getting around that. There are two games.
It's just the offense.
Where
The offense has been bad.
Yeah, the defense put them in a position to win. If you give up 10 and 17 points in back-to-back weeks, you should at least win one of those games, maybe two, and instead you're 0-2 because your offense has, not done anything.
Nothing.
They were almost two straight games without a touchdown if they don't get that. If Brandon Smith doesn't make a great catch.
He mossed that guy.
Yeah, it was great. Great catch, but they have not scored points. They've had 10 drives in the last two games that got inside the opponent's 40-yard line, and they just haven't cashed in. Talking to Stanley about it, and he said too many turnovers. They've had 6 turnovers in 2 weeks after having one in the first 4 games. And the way Iowa operates, you cannot turn the ball over the way that they have in the last 2 games and expect to win football games. And
who's to blame then for the turnovers? Is it Stanley who's the one throwing the interception?
I think there's a lot of blame to go around. They've had fumbles. They've had interceptions. They've had penalties against Michigan in particular. Yes. The penalties were bad. It's all correctable things. It's all things that they can fix. The good news is Purdue comes in, and Purdue, the concern you have with defensively is back-to-back weeks they've given up over 100 yards rushing, and that's usually a bad thing, and they haven't gotten over 100 yards rushing. Those are 2 bad indicators generally for Iowa. When they don't rush for 100 yards, they're in trouble. Since, I think, 2015, they're like, their record is pretty remarkable. I think they've only lost like 2 times when they've rushed for over 100 yards in Iowa. When it's just one of those telltale signs. And good news is that Purdue in league play, in conference games, now it's small sample size, obviously, with the conference just kind of really getting going, but they've played a couple of conference games, and Purdue's giving up 324 yards per game rushing. In conference games, it's like 2-something overall, 210 or something like that. So they should have an opportunity to run the ball. Purdue lost their best linebacker, Bentley. They're missing their 2 best defensive tackles. One of them being the Neal kid. Sindelar will not play. Rondale Moore will not play this week.
Oh, boy.
So Purdue is missing a lot of their key players. Having said that, Jack Plummer, the quarterback, has looked really good for them. Was the Big Ten, I think, offensive player of the week. And David Bell, the kid who Iowa recruited really hard, he's lived up to billing. He was the freshman of the week, I believe, in the Big Ten. So Purdue's beat Iowa the last 2 times, and they've done it by throwing it over the top. Another thing that Iowa's defense hasn't done, they've stopped teams from scoring a lot of points, but turnovers are way down. They've only got 4 interceptions this year. They had 20 last year. They had 35 sacks. They've got 7 this year. So they're just not as active in that area, and the defense is much better when they're turning people over, and so that's maybe the opportunity this weekend.
The line this weekend, is it still 18.5? 18?
I saw 18.
18.5. Boy, that line stinks to high heaven.
Yes.
It just
I thought the same.
stinks. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But you're tempted to play the under, but I just don't. And over-under is like 49, I think. I don't know, but it could end up being a shootout too. So we'll see.
All right, so I guess to what do you think? I mean, obviously we're not firing Brian Ferentz. I mean, that's ridiculous. But do you think that some of the play calling could have been?
I think there are times
been a little bit better to help Nate with these situations.
Well, you don't know what plays were called and what plays were checked out of because of what the defense does. You don't know that information. Nate might check to a play, and he admitted to us. He goes, "There's times where I have to check because what we had called is going to be a disaster, and we'll check to something else that's going to be less disastrous, where they just, based on personnel groups and formations and everything else, we're dead. We're just going to try and make it less bad than it could have been." So there's a lot of talk about Stanley not being mobile, but the offensive line has just not gelled at this point, and part of it is because they've just had moving parts there. They've started a different unit 5 out of the 6 games this year. And that guard, the guard situation has just not been great. Kallenberger did okay. He did okay, but he had his struggles. That's his first start as a guard. He started one game as a tackle.
Now, is he going to come back and start as guard
Yeah.
for the rest of the year, do we think?
I don't know. I keep an eye out. I may have mentioned this before. Justin Britt, true freshman. I was talking to some people before the season. They indicated to me that there was some hope that maybe that kid would come along, and second half of the year at some point he jumps into the starting lineup, which kind of told me they didn't trust the guards very much to begin with.
Right.
So they've got to solidify that, because I think, and Alaric Jackson has admitted he's been a little rusty coming back.
Well, and that kind of, my point at the beginning of the week was, if we have 2 O-linemen on this team that are supposed to be first-round picks,
yeah,
we're certainly not playing like it, I don't think.
Well, Wirfs is grading out terrifically. He's been really good.
Okay.
Alaric, he missed, 4 games, basically. Came back for the Michigan game and was clearly not ready to go, in my opinion. Struggled a little bit, had some rust. Was better this past week. I think this week will be a good test to see how good he is, because Purdue is just they're really not a great defensive team. They're just kind of beat up, thin.
Thanks, Dana.
So, man, he's got like what is this like? Just like Oscars? He's got people waiting on you here.
2 years ago, he was having Jay make his drinks.
I just needed some ice.
How did she know that you needed ice? Did you text her?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Well, she just burned
King
me.
Troy.
Well, she was mean to me
King
earlier.
T-Roy.
She owed me.
King T-Roy. He's got like bar service here.
So you don't like the 18 points though?
Oh no, it stinks.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
It's begging you to take Purdue.
Yeah. Stay away.
I mean, what are your thoughts on the receiving core, Tom? Any
Iowa's receivers, I was glad to see they're throwing to the tight end a little bit. I think that has really hurt the offense, is that they just have not found. I thought before the season Sean Byer would kind of emerge as a, not TJ Hawkinson, but something that's serviceably like that.
Right.
And he just hasn't gotten there. They were throwing through 4 passes to Wheating the last game, and I thought he did a nice job. But they missed that part of the offense where a big-bodied guy that can get you 6 or 7 yard catches when you need them to get a first down and keep the chains moving, because you can't just rely on the receivers and the backs. I don't think offensively, Iowa's just not built to do that. And if you're not throwing to the tight ends, why do you have them out there?
Great question.
It's just as an extra blocker. Just doesn't make any sense.
Nope. I'm going to switch schools on you, and if you don't know too much about it, we don't need to spend any time on it. But do you have any information about what's going on down in Houston Cougars?
A little bit.
So basically, the quarterback,
Dana Holgerson, coach down at Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
With Mike Leach, that great staff,
Yes.
crazy staff with Hal Mummy and all those guys.
All right.
The innovator of offense down there.
Hal Mummy, who is, I believe now is a coach in the XFL, where he's an offensive coordinator.
Is he?
Throw that in there. Yeah.
Look at that. James, he knows everything about the XFL.
I'm getting there.
Hal Mummy wearing that towel around his neck.
All right. So,
So the DeAndre King, the quarterback, decided to redshirt, and then they had the top wide receiver decided to redshirt.
Keith Corbin.
Yep.
Because if you don't, 4 games now.
Yeah, there's been several guys that have done that this year that just decide. The Rutgers quarterback, Sitkowski.
Okay.
Their backup, not the McLean Carter kid, but the kid who was a 4-star, played last year a lot as a true freshman, and then played the first 4 games, and then just decided once they fired Chris Ash, he was like, I'm just going to redshirt then. So they're on their 3rd string quarterback. Rutgers, by the way, has been shut out in 3 of their 4 Big Ten games so far this year. And in one of the other games, they only scored 7. That was a Maryland game.
Do you buy into anything that they're saying that maybe Houston is tanking the season, though, to bring guys back because they think they're going to be much better in 2020? Or do you think it's sour grapes to this kid who went to Twitter to basically accuse him of it?
I don't think they're tanking. I wonder if the King kid's going to end up transferring to Oklahoma or something. He's a really good player.
Okay.
Watched him play a couple times this year. Watched him play actually against Oklahoma early in the year. He's got some Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray feel to him. The kid who can run and pass, and got some really nice skills. So I wonder if he's gonna. His dad says he's not gonna grad transfer, and just whatever. But I'll wait and see.
Okay, we talked about it briefly at the end of last week. Serge and I did off the air, and I was just wondering what.
Well,
you thought
I was doing that with. It looks like they're going to do that with Ivory Kelly Martin, who is in his 3rd year, but he's going to probably redshirt now because Tyler Goodson has performed well, and so they've got 3 backs. So they're right now going to probably end up redshirting.
How many of these guys are senior starters, though? Like, these guys are senior starters at Houston.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The weird thing is that it was kind of even speculated before they made the decision. And now this kid goes on Twitter and...
Well, I'm sure they've been talking about it.
Yeah. So... But is it a disservice to these kids if it's your senior year, if someone's sitting there saying, like, we're just going to take out, our specialty players because we're not going to do anything this year. We're going to do it for 2020. You know what I'm saying?
It's the player empowerment era.
Well, we just saw that with an NFL trade, which is doing what the NBA does.
Yep. I'm not opposed to player empowerment. I mean, if you can get yours, get yours. You want to get in a better situation. Given where guys got stuck in places and didn't have that freedom for so many years, it's not a bad thing. It's gonna start being an extreme. There's got to be some happy medium, but you've seen it in the NBA, you're seeing it in the NFL, you're going to see it in baseball probably, where guys just, I don't want to play here anymore. Get me out of here.
And it's
we're in dangerous territory.
It's gonna.
It's just different than what we had where, you knew what the lineups were going to be and guys were going to be with the team for an entire
But
career.
if you look at the NBA, and I mean, it's like the roster can be whoever you were hanging out with a strip club in Vegas last summer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is.
That's...
But
the
it-
NBA thing is? It's an offshoot of what happens at the high school level in AAU every year.
Right.
With the AAU basketball, where guys will literally play with one team in the spring, and then by July, they've put together a different team.
In a whole different state.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for basketball, AAU,
There was one of the great examples of it that I can remember, because I was actually kind of around these guys a little bit that year, was Derrick Rose was playing with a team out of Chicago and then decided in July to go play a couple of events with the Indiana Elite team with Eric Gordon, just because they had become friends and they wanted to go play together, which is their right. There's no contracts in AAU, and guys just want to play with their guys or guys that are going to help them. Or it's to get into a bigger market.
It's a little bit different when you're talking AAU and you're trying to...
Yeah, because there's no contracts.
Yeah, but then you're trying to run a league, and you're trying to have league parity, and you're trying to have a reason so that you can have leagues in other markets.
You know who loves this, though? The NBA. Because the NBA is the out-of-season discussions about player empowerment, player movement is almost as big as, probably bigger than the season.
But that was
The actual season.
Yes, that was the blueprint from David Stern. He loved this stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't like when the player empowerment gets so big that they're going to talk about political issues, and then, or they tell you not to talk about it.
Well, every athlete is their own brand now.
Mhm.
Yeah, everybody just has to accept that. That's what everybody is. They're their own brand, and they're building that brand. Those brands are tied to other brands, and that's how it works.
That's fine. They're a brand.
Yeah.
When your brand all of a sudden one time can be for this social justice, and then you're going to change your tune.
But here's the
when
thing.
It comes
Here's
when
my
it comes to
difference.
your league telling you to be quiet.
Here's my difference of opinion, though, on this, is the folks that were telling every NBA player to shut up and dribble are now castigating them for when they were shutting up and not saying anything and not taking a strong enough
I think
stance.
You're getting it wrong. You got Nike out there with an advertising campaign that says
That's different.
Do everything until what was the thing? Something until it costs everything or something. What was that thing with Kaepernick?
It was Kaepernick, yeah.
Okay, but
I haven't heard Kaepernick say anything about China.
Well, of course not.
No,
he's not in the NBA. But what I'm getting at is that it was Nike's campaign.
It was built around Kaepernick, though.
All right, but it was still a campaign. It had all sports involved. It wasn't just
Yeah.
Okay, so but that motto and this thing where you got LeBron James coming and talking and trying to say that somebody isn't educated about what's going on in China.
Yeah, LeBron misstepped. I mean,
but I'm just saying.
But
for the NBA to bow down to China.
I understand.
I mean, are we serious right now, Tom?
Well, there's millions of, or there's thousands of companies in the United States that do business in China.
I'm not talking about thousands of companies in the United States. I'm talking about the NBA.
Are they taking a stand?
I don't know, and I'm not talking about that. I'm
It's
talking
just-
about the NBA.
What's
we're talking about
happened with
one company.
I know, but
we're talking about one league.
But with the NBA,
that's trying to
Yeah,
tell an
they've
American
got-
that they don't have the right to free speech. Is basically what they're telling that GM.
No,
that's basically
Adam
what
Silver,
they told him.
My buddy Adam Silver, who I've met,
He doesn't like you.
He met me.
All right.
He said, my guy from Iowa. That's what he text my buddy who knows him. He said, oh, my guy from Iowa?
Hey, you know that guy from Iowa? That's
You know that one dude?
Yeah. Oh, you've been to
This is
Iowa?
a
You know that one
highlighted-
guy?
A little shake and cake.
Yeah, that's right.
This is what happens when corporations, and the NBA is a corporation, get in bed with the uncomfortable
This is
countries.
really uncomfortable. This is literally like.
But there, here.
I mean, this is no joke.
The
Aside,
United
this
States
is,
does business with China. With
We do
millions
trade
and
agreements
billions
with
and,
China. Yes,
trillions
we
of
do.
dollars of loans from banks in China that they could
But
call.
we're not coming around telling our citizens that they can't make disparaging remarks about China either.
No, what LeBron was talking about was they were over there, and let's not stir this up. Well, these guys are over there.
Then say what you meant, because what he said did not sound like that.
Well, he did.
Or don't say anything at all, or go Jordan's route.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the
Republicans
Jordan
buy
route
sneakers
is-
too.
Yeah.
Jordan didn't get in politics because it didn't pay.
Yeah.
Because it
Oh,
doesn't
it's
pay.
exactly what-
Politics doesn't pay unless you're a politician, by the way. Go
exactly.
ask all of them that have been in office for years.
I'm just been amused by the shut up and dribble folks now.
I'm not a
going
shut
off.
up and dribble guy.
I'm not that either.
I'm a. You got to be kidding me that we're bound down to China. That's me. Period.
Well, that's
I
every
want the
corporation.
I
you
want the
notice
players
every
to,
other corporation that does business in China is not saying anything.
Well, I would love for them to say.
And
something.
if they, but they're not standing up for freedom of anything. If you're still doing, I mean, that's just the deal that every corporation makes doing business in China is. You just kind of like gotta go, well, yeah, it's not great people, but they got billions of folks that are going to buy sneakers or they're going to buy
billions
widgets
of little kids
or they're going to
shackled
buy
to
computers.
a loom
yeah.
making your jersey.
Yeah.
But I'm just sorry when they're over there burning LeBron jerseys in Hong Kong now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, his brand is taking a hit in China.
I don't know if it's taking a hit. It's taking a hit
It took a hit
in Hong
China.
Kong.
And it's taking a hit.
Yeah.
You
Well, the
don't
whole
think that
NBA.
the rest of the Chinese people don't want to be free? You think the ones that are shackled to,
I
to
don't think
machines?
I don't think the guys that the people in China outside of Hong Kong are even aware of LeBron's comments.
Maybe they're not.
Because they don't get
very
internet
good point.
there.
Yeah, well,
They don't
did.
get internet there.
Well, if they figured it out.
No, they don't get anything.
No.
It's just the uncomfortable dance that every corporation makes when they deal with China
But this
any
is
other.
this is our sports. This is our sports. This is everything. I think everybody turns a blind eye when they know that your shoes were made over there, and unfortunately, that shouldn't be the case. But what I'm getting at is when you have your star athletes, and that's why you have Jordan saying what he did years ago, and that's why you had Barkley saying what he did years ago. I'm not a role model.
There's
There's a truth to both of what those two said. They had vision beyond their years. Don't get involved in it, and don't ask me to be your role model. Don't ask me to be the person you go to when you need answers to these things.
You know where the MAGA hats were made?
China.
Yeah.
I'm sure of
Okay.
it.
Make America great again.
Every
Hats with
every
China.
hat in this room was made in China. I guarantee it. Come on.
I'm gonna look.
Let's look.
Before we go,
This one doesn't even
Vietnam.
All right, close enough.
Before we go to
This
break,
one doesn't even have a made
Harrison's
by
got a
tag
question on the Harrington's Pub
Mine was
Facebook
in
comment
China.
thread.
Yeah,
Kaker,
we got China with Tom. This one must have been made in America because there's not a tag on it.
Yep.
Okay, Iowa basketball right around the corner.
Yep.
Any news on the recruits, and what are your thoughts how well they'll do this season?
Recruiting wise, Xavier Foster and Joshua Nagale visited last weekend. Official visits are 2020 kids. Josh just announced his top 5 yesterday.
Yeah,
Iowa was in it, so they're in good shape there, I think. Foster, it's Iowa and Iowa State. He's going to announce November 11th.
Let me know.
And they offered Tony Perkins, not the guy from the movies, but he's not bringing his mother on his official visit either. That's the joke.
What about Marlon Perkins?
Not Marlon. With Jim?
Yeah.
With Jim. What was
Dude,
Jim's
who did
name?
Wild Kingdom? I can't
Wild
remember.
Kingdom was the
Dude, that
Mutual
was
of
a-
Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Dude, that was one of the best shows God ever
And
created.
Marlon Perkins never did anything. It was always Jim out there in the wild, just putting his life in danger.
Just tackling all kinds of like big cats, taking a bison down by the horns.
Yeah, Tony Perkins, a 6'4" guard out of Indianapolis, got an Iowa offer, and he's going to visit this weekend, probably commit. So, and they're waiting on Jamari Sibley, the 6'8" wing from Milwaukee, who's now at Oak Hill Academy in Virginia. And we'll see what happens with him. He might visit Syracuse. He's kind of gone quiet with things, but it was Iowa or Georgetown. But then Syracuse missed out on a couple guys. So We'll see.
How's J-Bo doing?
He waiting to see him get back to practice. I think he wants to play. It's and he's got the greatest beard in America going.
Oh, does he really?
Oh, he's using Just for Men on it too, or something. He dyed it. His teammates outed him. I think he dyed it.
All right. We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Caker. We've got to
little cake and
talk
shake.
about something else, another comment on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread, and then I want to hear some thoughts. We've got to whittle down a list of some nominees.
All right. Well, you're Whittle.
Yep. That's a good one.
He is Whittle.
Yeah.
Vans Pizza and More is out there in the Plex Complex at the corners of Middle and I can't say it like that. Out there at the corner by the Plex of Forest and Middle Grove Road. Outstanding daily specials like today. You guys $1 off their famous wings and baked pastas. All you got to do is call Vans Pizza and More at 563-232-1396, and they'll have that pizza or wings popping hot ready for you in about 10 minutes, or you can have it delivered. Delivery is limited in Bettendorf. So please, once again, call Van at 563-232-1396. That's Van's Pizza and More, 5023 Competition Drive.
This is Josh Sides, head coach, St. Ambrose University Esports. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
Online sports betting is here with EliteSportsbook.com. If you are an active Rhythm City Casino Resort Club member, go to EliteSportsbook.com now and follow the prompts to start betting. Not a Resort Club member? Visit Rhythm City to join today. Bet with Elite Sportsbook at Rhythm City Casino Resort or online now. More ways to get in the game with EliteSportsbook.com and Rhythm City Casino Resort. Must be 21. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
So you're what they call an industrial athlete. But this ain't no gym. You're working hard. You got the right tools to get the job done? Would you play football and roller skates? I don't think so. So if your gear is beat up, tore up, all around mucked up, come on in and boot up at Quad City Safety, 5311 Tremont Avenue, Davenport. Or check us out at quadcitysafety.com.
Sensitivity, understanding, and a tradition of kindness and caring. It's so important when a family loses a loved one. Call on us, Wheeland Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, for all your service needs. You have our single-minded attention to every detail. With a range of choices and services available, our professionalism, and our deepest sympathy. Wheeland Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
Since 1978, Advantage Advertising has been your one and only choice for promotional products and corporate apparel, all with your company's logo. At Advantage Advertising, you'll find products that are perfect for golf outings, company anniversaries, holiday parties, or health, wellness, and safety programs. We're accredited by the Better Business Bureau and a long-standing member of the Quad Cities Chamber. Visit AdvantageAdvertising.us to see all of the possibilities. Advantage Advertising, a proud supporter of Iowa State athletics.
Isn't technology great? Everything at your fingertips. But sometimes when you want something custom, you need to talk with an actual person. QC Press has been in the area for over 45 years. They can custom design t-shirts for your family reunion, banners for your anniversary party, or letterhead for your small business. Don't leave your special event up to some design shop on the internet. Check out QCPress.com or stop by and see them at 1325 15th Street, Moline. QC Press, 309-764-8142. What do you need printed today?
Need to get around for work or school but can't afford it? Make plans to attend Arrowhead's Auto Auction from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, October 19th at the Ranch in Coal Valley. Get a really cheap car. Get there early to get the best deal. Registration is at 8:30 a.m. and auction starts at 10. Get a deal on a car and support a really good charity and help our local youth get back on track. Tell all your friends to be there. It's the Arrowhead Ranch Auto Auction, Saturday, October 19th in Coal Valley.
Don't hassle us, we're local. Noon till 2 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
All right, we got a little shake and cake back here in the Hassle Castle. Brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish. We got Sergey T. Roy and myself, and like I said, my cakes.
Did you want to do the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing?
Yeah, you will get. I had a nice lead into that, but you just jumped right in.
Okay.
We'll do the
Erickson
league.
gave me
How about the Ragbri thing? Did you guys talk about that yet?
No, we didn't. I
No.
tried to reach out to them.
I had to wash my drawers yesterday. You didn't hear that story, did you?
So Ragbri, we didn't. That's another thing. I've been trying to get a hold of that guy as well. Now it's Ride Iowa.
Right, Iowa.
Because Ragbri is the people that put it together. They're not. They're distancing themselves from the Des Moines.
And I'm really torn about the whole thing because
Whoa! What?
Oh, okay. Des Moines. The Ragbri's done.
Yeah.
So is this because of what they did to the?
Yes.
Well, the Ragbri is the Des Moines Register is still going to run Ragbri.
Mhm.
They're still planning on doing Ragbri, but now there's
The race
the people
director, yep.
who ran Ragbri. All 16 people quit yesterday over not being able to say what they wanted to say about the Carson King situation and the Register's reporting there. I'm really torn because I have many friends who work at the Des Moines Register
In the sports
sports
who did nothing wrong.
who did nothing wrong, who had no but they're getting a ton of blowback from it. I think most people realize they don't have anything to do with the news side, but it sucks for those guys.
It's
I
the
feel bad
editors.
for those.
I mean, I do feel bad for them too, Tom. I'm the guy that's out there. You know, the kid that got fired needed to be fired, but on top of it, the editors for that portion of the paper. Those aren't the sports editors. Those aren't the sports reporters.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate that.
It very well could be that, a really wonderful, I think, tradition for late July in the state of Iowa just essentially dies off. It was a really cool event that I have a lot of friends. Our friend John Keeley does it every year.
Yeah.
Big group of people. So it's too bad that it's come to this, but oh well.
All right.
Well, now what it was they walked out because they wouldn't let them say anything.
They were giving them some talking points because apparently I don't know why anybody would be telling Ragbri they didn't want to be associated with them other than it's just they're part of the Register family. But I would think most people would logically say, yeah, we don't hold you accountable for something the Register did. We still like to ride our bike and go to this thing and do it for a week and experience Iowa. I don't know. Just
So these people are leaving. They're going to form their own right across
Yep.
Iowa.
It's called Iowa's Ride.
Iowa's Ride.
And it's starts July 19th, and then they'll announce
That's when the Ragbri really starts.
Yep.
And they'll announce the route in November. What they're going to do.
So then this whole Ragbri thing basically just becomes Iowa's Ride. So we didn't lose it.
Well, no, Ragbri is
still
going to
gonna
still try. Ragbri is still going to happen too.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So it's going to see who rides for what.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, yeah. So.
Huh.
Well.
Okay.
And it's interesting. It's something to look into. And I'll keep trying to get a hold of him. We'll get someone to talk on the show about it. Real quick, you saw Snoop Dogg was at Kansas basketball?
That was interesting.
Got him into some trouble?
Yeah.
Snoop what?
Snoop was at Fog Night.
Fog Night. And he was throwing. He had stripper poles.
Was he making his own fog?
No.
No.
He put on a Snoop Dogg show.
He did.
He put on a
With
concert.
fake
down
money
there.
and guns and stripper poles.
When you hire Snoop Dogg, you should know what you're getting.
That's actually exactly what he said. You hired Snoop Dogg, you're going to get Snoop Dogg.
Well, yeah. It's
right.
He's
NCAA wasn't too happy.
He's coming to
with
my
it.
house this summer.
You're not supposed to have.
You're going to get stripper poles. You're going to get some blunt, and you're going to get money thrown around.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to get when you get the Snoop Dogg. I'd be disappointed if I went to a Snoop Dogg show and those things didn't happen.
I saw Snoop in Iowa City, man.
Why the NCAA wasn't
The
too happy about it.
DOGG?
Or Cedar Rapids, I'm sorry.
Yesterday, the 2020 class of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was announced. They're the nominees.
Yeah.
And you can go and vote for them, and then they whittle it down to 5.
So I
As
gotta
a fans
pick
vote,
5.
Okay? So the nominees are
Okay.
Pat Benatar,
Yep.
Okay.
Dave Matthews Band, Depeche Mode.
Slow down.
I'm sorry. Anyway,
Okay.
to be eligible, an individual artist or band must have released its
25 years.
first commercial recording at least 25 years prior to the nomination. The public will once again have an opportunity to participate in the induction selection process. You got that there?
Yeah.
The Doobie Brothers now.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Judas Priest.
You got another thing coming, Jay.
You got another thing coming. Kraftwerk.
No.
It's a
No.
It's an overseas band.
No.
MC5.
No.
I like Haker. If your first reactions, no. Motorhead.
Yeah.
Time to play the game.
The ace of spades.
Time to play the game. 9 Inch Nails.
I wanted like an animal.
The Notorious B.I.G.
Oh, yeah.
Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. If you have to put that in there.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Todd Rundgren.
Ooh. Man.
Soundgarden.
Oh, yeah.
God, yes.
T-Rex.
Bang a gong.
And Thin Lizzy.
Oh,
the boys are back in town, Jay.
All right. Just off this list, the slam dunk is Whitney Houston, right? 11 number ones?
Oh, there's
not-
more than one slam dunk.
She's not.
I would say Depeche Mode, Doobie Brothers, and
Janet
Whitney.
Jackson's in too. So I mean, yeah,
What are you getting? You trying to go with the rock and roll thing?
yeah. I think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should be about rock and roll, not.
Settle down, Gene. You're going to have to let everybody in.
Ice Cube does not
You're doing
believe
Gene
that.
Simmons right now.
Ice Cube said rock and roll is not an instrument. Rock and roll is not even a style of music. Rock and roll is a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It's been going on since the blues, jazz, bebop, soul, R&B, rock and roll, heavy metal, punk rock,
Absolutely.
and yes, hip hop.
Yes, hip hop.
Connect us
If
all
you
with
don't
that
know,
spirit.
now you know.
I would say Pat Benatar's in.
Yes.
Only 5 get to make
I don't like Dave Matthews, so I'm not electing him. Only 5 of this list get in?
Yeah.
This is easy.
We've done this before.
Okay,
man.
if we
We've
do
done
Whitney
this on
Houston in, Judas Priest in.
No.
Judas Priest in.
Doobie Brothers are in.
He's so like absolutely.
Doobie Brothers are in. Depeche Mode's in.
Pat Benatar in.
And I would say
And I would say Soundgarden in.
Thin Lizzy should be in too.
No, they did one song. Name one other song.
BS.
One other song.
What? Other than the boys are back in town?
Yeah.
Tonight there's gonna be a jailbreak.
6 of this year's 16 nominees have never won a Grammy Award. Depeche Mode, MC5, The Notorious B.I.G., Todd Rundgren, T-Rex, Thin Lizzy. Just 3 of the nominees, Whitney Houston, Notorious B.I.G., and the Doobie Brothers, have topped the Billboard Hot 100. Motorhead has never cracked the chart, top 100.
Well, Doobie Brothers should be in. Pat Benatar should be in.
The Doobie Brothers.
Judas
Backwater,
Priest should
What
be
a Fool
in.
Believes, number 1, 1985 and 1989, respectfully.
Rob Halford and Judas Priest should be in.
No, they only got a few. They
Got
Nine
Another
Inch
Thing
Nails.
Coming reached number 67 in 1982.
Trent Reznor and 9 Inch Nails should be in.
The Day the World Went Away, number 17 in 1999.
So I would say Doobie and Pat Benatar are in for sure.
Yeah, we agree on
Whitney for sure.
Yeah, so you got 3.
We can argue on. I think Depeche Mode and Soundgarden, but
I think Soundgarden for sure.
Soundgarden's biggest hit, Black Hole Sun, number 24 in 1994.
Black hole sun,
There you go.
won't you come?
see what's her.
Chris Cornell.
Notorious B.I.G., Hypnotized,
I'm
More Money,
feeling
More Problems.
California.
Featured Puff Daddy and Mace, number 1, both in 1997.
No love for
See,
Biggie, huh?
I like Biggie, but
He doesn't need to be on.
There's never a big He doesn't need
Tom was gonna say that.
I love it. He doesn't need to be. All right, so Pat Benatar,
I'm
Doobie
just
Brothers,
a cranky old dude, man.
Whitney Houston.
I just want all my. See, I
is going
grew up with
in.
Judas Priest.
Tupac
That's
is
I
what-
know,
going
but
in.
do you only that and Turbo Lover are the only 2 songs you know by Judas Priest?
No.
Name another one. I'm your Turbo Lover.
If Shaka Khan gets in because of the
No.
featuring, I will not be happy.
No.
Rufus is Tell Me Something Good, number 3 in 1974.
It's a great song, but
Had I Feel For You in 1984.
no.
I love her name though.
The other thing that I find really interesting is that 2 years ago, they put in a category called singles, and they haven't released who's going in. Like in 2018, Louie Louie went in, The Twist went in, Born to Be Wild.
Oh.
Like the song.
Yep, just the song.
Twist.
Tequila went in 2019. Money, That's What I Want. Twist and
Tequila
Shout.
went
Leader
in?
of the Pack. Gloria.
Did they put a video with the Pee Wee Herman doing the
Probably.
tequila dance?
All right, do we have 5? Do we have a? Do we
Well,
have it?
a definitive 5. I think we all agree on Soundgarden, maybe.
Soundgarden,
I'm fine
Whitney
with the-
Houston, Doobie Brothers.
B.I.G.'s going.
Pat Benatar.
B.I.G.'s
Pat
going.
Benatar.
Tupac's in, B.I.G.'s going. Sorry, guys.
No.
I would say, how come Depeche Mode can't go in?
I'm going to the wall for Judas Priest.
Well, then I'm going to the wall for Biggie.
Kaker, thank you so much for coming in. Have a good weekend. Have a happy homecoming in Iowa City.
It's homecoming for the Almond Pioneers this
There
weekend,
you go.
too.
Thanks to Bobby Metcalf for coming in, too. You guys have a hassle-free Wednesday. We will see you tomorrow. Enjoy yourselves, Quad Cities.
Luisa, bring me the salsa.